The chicken shop, a staple of British food culture. Whether you've seen them on the internet or you grew up with one on your estate, one thing is for sure. KFC has the monopoly on high street chicken, but there are no shortage of imitators. And when we saw this image online, we knew we had to be the first people in the world to sample every KFC clone from A to Z, no matter how hard that'd prove to be. So join us on this completely stupid journey as we travel literally hundreds of miles throughout the country across 3 days to find out which chicken shop is deserving of the crown. And at the end, we'll give out awards for the best shop, the worst shop, along with some other categories. We are TPD TV, and this is the Chicken Shop Challenge.
So first up, we're going to AFC, American Fried Chicken, and we hit hurdle pretty quickly with this one.
What did I tell you?
First one's cash only.
But that wasn't a huge problem. There was a cash machine over the road, so we got that sorted, got these wings, and you know what? The chips were pretty nice.
Crispy, salty, good.
By the end of this video, you're going to be really sick of seeing this can of orange Mirinda.
A huge thank you to our executive producers on Patreon. We couldn't do this without you. Link below if you want to support.
We actually got an extra wing in here. We only asked for 4, we got 5, so that's already a good sign.
It's all well and good getting an extra wing, but these were not up to scratch.
If we get food poisoning today, then this is why. Pink chicken, nice bit of blood.
Rubbery as fuck, like, that was not a great start, not gonna lie.
BFC. We're gonna come out here and we're literally just gonna drive around there.
Thankfully, a lot of these places were on the same street, so it made the first few really quick and easy. When we got in, it was your typical chicken shop. Not too sure about that cable management of that TV, but prices were alright, they took card, and then here's the reveal of the chips, and they were alright. I will admit, the chips weren't great. The chicken was pretty good, but this place does lose points because the boss man was on his phone while serving us, and I think that's a bit rude.
This is stupid.
So moving on to the next one, we have CFC, and that is Chapeltown Fried Chicken.
Feeling hungry.
Cash only at this one, although there was a very friendly boss man. Lovely selection of drinks. This time changing it up with the strawberry Mirinda. Here we are with the chips reveal.
Good chips. Not as good as BFC.
It goes round for a taste test of the wings. Lovely big wings at this place.
That's a big wing.
Nicest one yet. Really good, that.
Best quality, I'd say.
Something about all these places is they're incredibly good value. What are you laughing at? Incredibly good value and incredibly quick service, which is something you just don't get in a lot of places. Try going to Pizza Express with £3.50 in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen.
Looking at you, Burger King.
Up next, DFC. This place had a suspiciously similar sign to BFC, but I guess all these places are kind of cut from the same cloth. Big up anywhere that trusts the customer to put their own sauce on. I love that, and this place gets extra points because I want lots of sauce on mine.
Would you like some?
I'd love some.
Thumbs up for not using the polystyrene packaging that all the others used, and to be fair, this was pretty good. I was impressed.
A good kind of wing, that. It's like not messy. Do you know what I mean? Alright, that is good.
Mary was slowly getting used to eating chicken off the bone. It's not her favourite, but she did give this one a good review.
That's proper nice.
DFC was indeed delicious fried chicken.
Our search for EFC took us all the way down to central London, and as you can hear, we were pretty buzzing when we finally pulled up.
There it is. Scaffolded in the way.
Shame about the scaffolding because we couldn't get a nice shot, but it is what's inside that counts. Speaking of which, look at this drink selection. What a good choice, and no orange Mirinda in sight. This takeaway did have a nice range of fresh ingredients, which made me feel like I was in a Subway, and I fucking love Subway.
Well, who'd have thought it? In London, $2.99.
And check these out. Lovely Mackey's fries. We all scavenged these like a bunch of vultures that have just driven 4 hours for some wings. Rob tucked into the chicken, and Raz had an interesting revelation.
Like, it tastes a bit like a doner kebab, but with a wing. It's great.
Look at the pixelation of this chicken on this thing. Next up, FFC, which was right next to a Greg's, which we may have gone into to get a latte. It was a nice shop front, and there were some nice enticing pictures on the front, but annoyingly, there was no parking, so we did have to park around the corner. We expected good things though, because it was quite busy, but that did mean that all the seats were taken, so we had to eat our food in the van.
Who's hungry?
Me?
Yeah.
Why were you eating it in the van, Dad?
Because there were people in there taking up the seats, so we couldn't sit down. So we've had to come into
What
the
have
van.
we got, Dad?
They're very small.
Small
box.
portion.
Oh, chip salt.
We tucked into the familiar meal here with the chicken under the chips, but these ones were a little bit different because the boss man put some chip spice on it, and it's the little things that make the difference.
That's a good one, that.
When you're done with it, put the bones in the dog card.
Oh, do not do that, you grim motherfucker.
That's very forgettable at this stage in the game now.
Mine's only slightly good because it's got a bit of chip salt on it.
Where are we going next?
So that was FFC, so ABCDEF. GFC.
GFC.
I reckon.
Gangster fried chicken.
Good fried chicken.
Great fried chicken.
Gay fried chicken.
Well, maybe we'll never know what the G stands for. Maybe leave us a comment below as to what you think the G in GFC stands for. This place had a great offer. Any 1-inch pizza for $2.99. I'll be back to take up the offer. Very large selection on the menu and some lovely decor. There was a chip on the floor just by where we were eating, so that explains why the hygiene rating wasn't displayed anywhere. In we go for the taste test on the chips. It's got Mary's nod of approval there.
Ooh, they're red hot. I'm not a fan of them putting the wings under the chips.
I'd rather than put the wings on top of the chips.
Unfortunately, we did find the wings buried deep down in there.
That is the most rubbery chicken I've ever had. It's like nibbling on Razzy's mum's latex cat suit.
Why has she got that?
All in, £3.50 for a meal ain't bad. They took card and the boss man had a great haircut.
This is the first one where we've not been able to tell what the letter actually stands for. Hi there, I'm just wondering what the G stands for in GFC. We're doing a project. We were very impressed when we pulled up to HFC.
This might be the nicest one.
This place was kitted out like a proper restaurant.
Hey Raz, I found the perfect level of spice for you.
The branding was great, the fixtures and fittings looked brilliant, and the chips were absolutely fantastic, nice and crispy.
It's fluffy and crunchy, that.
But then we tried the chicken, and this is when things went a bit south. Our expectation was very high, but these looked absolutely atrocious and tasted even worse.
Not good.
We were gutted. These were absolutely vile, and our expectations were really, really high. And this is not the only example of don't judge a book by its cover on this video. That's a shame, because they had the best decor and the best front of house, and it actually looked like a proper restaurant, like a proper chain. But it was the worst wing I might have ever eaten. I'm sorry, guys.
We made the long drive down to Essex to visit IFC, and for some reason Rob asked me if Jake's mum's any good in bed.
Yeah, really good.
The menu was pretty basic, just your standard stuff, but it did have an outdoor seating area which we were really excited to try in this gorgeous weather.
Right.
Are we going to sit down then?
Yeah. Oh, they look really nice.
Oh, and nice and wet for me as well, please, Daddy.
How are they?
Boiling. Yeah.
Really nice, but...
Give me a chip.
Wow, let's get in the van.
It's quite dry.
No, it's not, it's raining.
I mean, the chicken, you nonce.
Chicken wings in hand, we bombed it back to the van, and get ready for the nicest chicken sound you're ever gonna hear. ASMR, anyone?
You want a wing?
What about that, eh? Now that's a sound that makes you press like.
These are good, you know.
Yeah?
JFC. You know what that means, don't you?
Jesus.
No, it's just fucking closed.
It's not close. Oh, you are fucking kidding. Well, we came all the way to Salford, to JFC. Says it's open on Google Maps. It's the only JFC that we could find.
Google lets us down on this one, and believe me, it won't be the last time either. There was even 2 sets of different opening hours on the shutters, which made it so annoying. Thankfully, with a bit of research, we found another JFC, so we jumped in the van and drove somewhere in between Reading, Oxford and Milton Keynes.
Where the fuck are we here? Where the fuck are we here?
It was a long drive, but when we got there, we were welcomed by probably one of the nicest signs we've seen. However, when we got in, Mary kind of found a bit of a weird smell in there.
It really stinks of earwax in here, like chronic.
The price was pretty good, but I did notice that a customer in front of us did get overcharged for his chicken wrap. The seating area was basic, but I guess it did the job. Unfortunately, Mary was really upset because there was no orange Mirinda, but we soon cheered up when we tried these lovely chips.
You know what they're like? Burger King original chips. Before Burger King changed them.
This was the first place we went to where the chicken was in a separate bag, and that was pretty good. It kept it quite fresh. These chicken wings were nice and big, and you certainly got value for money. Overall, this place was really good, and it's certainly better than the first JFC that we went to.
It's my favourite one of the day. Favourite one of the day for sure.
Really? That is nice, that. Love it. Now in comes the one and only KFC, and by one and only I do mean there's literally thousands of them.
I always do. This place definitely seems like the most legitimate so far. It's got nice decor, there's music playing, it's got a radio, it's got toilets. It's the first one of these to have a toilet.
Now after absolutely destroying the toilets after our 10th wing, we finally sat down to enjoy some of the Colonel's finest chicken.
Really tasteless, actually. No flavour, I don't think.
I came here thinking this would be the best, but I don't think it's been the best.
I love KFC wings, I think they're the best. On this occasion, there's this massive bit here, and like I bite into it,
and it feels like rubber.
So we've seen the real deal, but we went to Manchester to Crunchy Fried Chicken to find a different letter K. And do you know what? This place was super impressive.
I just got served in about 1 second. That was brilliant.
No joke, this food was in my hand within 10 seconds of me paying for it. And speaking of paying, it was kind of expensive. £5.50, but it was really, really good. We were super impressed. We were excited to taste this drink, actually. What does that taste like, Raz?
Yep, tastes like the others.
Tucking into the wings, we did find out that they're not crunchy in any way. They were maybe the least crunchy wings that we've had on the challenge so far. But that didn't matter because these were absolutely banging. The flavour was spot on and they just fell off the bone. It was delicious.
That is absolutely wonderful. Really good.
Generally, I hate eating wings just because I hate having the food all over my hands. I feel like a bit of a tramp. But this was the only shop on the whole challenge that had this little sink at the side so I could go and wash my hands afterwards and leave actually feeling fresh.
Brilliant. Well impressed.
All right, Leeds fried chicken. Leeds. This is in an area called Burley where we used to live. We kind of know this place, though we've not been ourselves. We've heard some good reviews from friends. There was some nice artwork on the wall and the food was really well presented.
Do you know what? First place that's put the wing chicken on top.
Also, those are thin fries.
Oh, they look kind of nice.
The boss man in here was getting like undressed out of his t-shirt while he was serving us, so that was a bit strange. But the chicken was pretty good and the thin fries were a nice addition. I'm personally a fan of the chip salt that they had on there. We all enjoyed the chicken and then we jumped in the van and started listening to some chicken themed music.
Chicken on the phone, chicken on the phone, chicken off the floor, chicken off the sky, chicken off the bone, I eat chicken off the bone. Chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing, I'm thinking I'm about to eat everything.
Well, we've just driven 30 minutes to the next town over and it's closed.
Yep, I love wasting my time.
Because it was closed, we decided to go to Iceland, which was just next door, get some wings and eat them outside MFC. Look, it still counts alright.
Look at how juicy that, the bone's juicy.
If there's oat that our mate Dan loves, it's a big juicy bone. And that's why mums go to Iceland.
We're back again, bitch.
We drove back to Barnsley the day after when it was actually open and they didn't take cards, so we had to walk to the cash machine and try a third time in this bloody restaurant. This place took you back to the early 2000s with these toy machines. Remember these Game Boy Colors from like 2001? These haven't been touched for ages. Menu was pretty standard. The staff were a bit awkward. It felt a bit weird in this one.
It felt awkward in there for some reason. I'm not sure what it was, but it just did feel a bit strange.
Here we go. After the Iceland wings, we finally get to taste the real thing. Oh, and they're on top. Ooh,
They look pretty good, you know.
They actually don't look bad. That one.
They might have looked good, but they didn't taste good. They didn't really taste of anything. I was in need of some flavour, so I turned to Jake, who I assumed had a can of orange Mirinda for me.
Oh no.
Didn't get a drink.
You're a fucking idiot. They had a tango apple in there as well.
That was completely flavourless.
Yeah.
It was nice and crunchy.
Yeah.
But no flavour with the crunch.
So after a long drive through some pretty nice places, these people must be loaded. We saw the lovely NFC on the horizon.
It's there!
We parked up next to a van with no wheels, and this is when it sunk in that this is such a dumb idea.
4.5 hour drive just for this one. Ridiculous.
After that long drive, we were really ready for some chicken. This place was great because it really made you feel like you're at a 1975 show. The drink selection was brilliant. There was a good selection. We made the most of the diverse selection in the fridge. When the chicken came out, it was well presented in its own bag. But just like every other chicken shop, they're really stingy with the napkins. So once again, it's every man for themselves.
It's solid, there's no sogginess about it. Best one.
Look at the size of that.
Considering we've travelled like 400 miles for this, it's pretty good, you know.
So we really had to search hard for an OFC, but we finally found one over in Oldham, which was an hour and a half drive away.
Rob's gone in the shop now on his own, so...
This place was super busy when we first got there, which set really high expectations.
Isn't it?
Jake securing the bag there, and we were actually able to pay by card, £4.60 at this place. We didn't fancy eating in front of everyone, so we took it to the back of the van to scram.
We've travelled many miles today and we've managed to get one.
Here we go for the big reveal, and would you have guessed it, another set of 4 wings and chips. My god, I'm sick of it.
That's a nice chip.
This one was really nice. It got a nice presentation, although the wings were underneath the fries again. All in a rather fine dining experience.
Quick question.
That's good.
Where's my fucking headrest gone?
Ad time.
Right, it's time for us to have a quick ad break and tell you about our fantastic sponsor for this video, Babbel.
At TPD TV, you know we love to travel, but one thing we've never done is learn another language.
We've teamed up with Babbel to help you help yourself and learn another language.
We came up with that ourselves. That's not even in the brief. As some of you might know, I was actually born in Germany, so I'm going to be using Babbel every day to try and help me learn the language of the country where I was born, and I'm excited about it. I'm sick of being uncultured.
Here's an example of some of the languages that you can learn using Babbel.
Vier Flügel und Pommes bitte.
Cartel frites, s'il vous plaît.
Comida de cuatro alitas y papas fritas, por favor.
Quattro alie, patatine. Per favore.
4 wings and chips meal, please.
The Babbel app makes learning intuitive. It's really easy to use. We've been using it now for a few weeks, and we're really impressed with our own progress.
Salut. Whether you're out and about or you're sat at home, you can be on the Babbel app learning a new language.
You can subscribe to the language of your choice, or you can click our special link below and get 50% off lifetime access to all Babbel's languages. Why would you not click the link? I'll literally just wait here for you to click it. Schnell! And who'd have thought we didn't really travel to all those places? It was just some high-tech movie magic. Say thanks to Babbel, Raz.
Thanks, Babbel.
Perfect fried chicken. Well, we'll be the judge of that. Raz was certainly impressed by the sign.
Very nice. It's got a good sign, that.
As we got into this place, we noticed that the decor was actually brilliant. It felt quite premium and like a chain restaurant. This one's nice.
It looks premium.
I would say this is the most premium so far in terms of its interior. It was refreshing to see something other than red brick, a nice change, and Mary was buzzing to not have to drink an orange Mirinda again.
A bit more of an expensive one, this one. $5.99, but got some sauces.
That's the best presentation I've seen yet.
So it looked great. It was a little more expensive, but it had this amazing chili sauce. Food for me is just a socially acceptable vessel for me to get chili sauce in my mouth. The chicken was piping hot and really fresh.
Oh my god, look at the smoke coming off that.
Smoke, West.
Shut up.
There is no smoke without fire, and they are pretty hot.
Big up PFC. Do you know what? You brand yourself as perfect and you're not far off.
So here we are at QFC. We thought it'd be really hard to find one, but there were quite a few dotted about, so we just went to the closest one. It was pretty cramped inside, but the menu was big, it had a lot of choice. Speaking of which, can I interest anyone in a family bukkake? Me and Jake decided to wait outside. They did have a little seating area outside, which would be good for summer, but I do just want to draw your attention again to this ridiculous typo. Come on QFC, sort it out.
It's taken the longest out of all of them.
Maybe it just feels like it's taking longer because it's fucking freezing out here. This is an orange Miranda. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You know what? I was really thirsty, so I was very pleased when my favourite drink got pulled out of the bag, another orange Mirinda. As we said, it was pretty cold outside, so we wanted to take it back to the van to enjoy.
Right, folks, I've got good news.
Right, go on.
Because it took so long, they gave us an extra wing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it looks familiar.
Took long enough.
I'm going to put mine back in there. Do you know what that chicken tastes like?
What?
Like chicken flavoured stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken soup. Noodles.
Yeah, it does. It tastes like chicken super noodles.
Late into the day, we arrived at RFC in Bradford.
Go on, Hagrid.
A sign was put on the wall to let customers know that there's going to be an increase in prices because of the cost of living crisis. But they spare no expense with the seating in here. These were probably the comfiest seats we've ever experienced in a chicken shop. Look at these bouncy little boys. The smell in this place was absolutely incredible.
It smells lovely in here, like proper barbecue grilled chicken. Fair enough.
The menu was well designed. It looked like someone had actually used Photoshop instead of MS Paint. For some reason, I really struggled to get inside the box, so I did a bit of magic and stabbed my fork in it, and that must have been the key to getting inside.
Ooh, they're nice.
They're hot.
They're hot. They are hot.
That's annoying. What? Because that's the best one, but it's not a fried wing.
Oh wow.
That's great.
SFC, which stands for Sam FC. These guys have a slogan, simply the best in shawarma and fried chicken.
We've managed to do 11 today, including this one. That means we've got to do it all day tomorrow as well.
I'm a bit hungover, so going out tonight.
I'm already hungover.
One thing I remember about this place is it was weirdly big and it had loads of cardboard on the floor, which was strange. Obviously, we got the orange Mirinda for a change. We got the peri salt on the chips and some big juicy wings once again. They did take card at this one, but they did charge us 30p for doing so. Also, the boss man only gave us one napkin.
Oh. That didn't sound too healthy. Straight into a bone. That was alright, that.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was nice, spicy.
Yeah, the wing was a bit salty though.
Right, TFC, Tasty Fried Chicken, again, will be the judge. This place was kind of busy and it had a very complex menu with lots of different options. That's pretty good.
Riley was too scared to come in because there was one lad waiting outside the shop.
Do you know what? Fair play to Mary and Jake for staying in the van, because these lads started scrapping straight outside the shop and then the police pulled up and then they quickly stopped. Anyway, we got the food, again, similar looking thing, but the worst wings I've ever seen.
They look gross.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
They tasted slightly better than they look, but that's not saying much.
I'm so sick of these.
We delivered Jake and Mary's food to the van and Mary was absolutely buzzing because she got her favourite drink once again. Mary was once again thrilled when she found out that her chicken had an extra ingredient.
Oh, there's a hair on this one.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
There's a hair on the box.
This was just an all-round piss-poor experience. I would not recommend Tasty Fried Chicken. It was anything but tasty.
We went on a nice hour-long rainy drive to find the rare UFC. It was a cute little shop on the corner and even had the menu outside on the window so you could decide what you want before you even go in.
UFC.
This was home of the worst seating area I've ever seen in a takeaway. And if you're a thick bitch like me, you don't have a chance on these chairs. It had been a long day, I was parched, and I really needed a drink.
That's for you, Mary.
Perfect. That's what I want.
Nice.
They did have other drinks, but the boys thought it'd be hilarious to just get this over and over again to try and piss me off. On the plus side, who knew that UFC made such good chicken wings?
That's a good trip. I like mine.
The staff looked smart because they were all wearing branded uniform, but you never know, it could have just been UFC merch.
I don't know why this one was called Virginia Fried Chicken, because there was nothing Virginia about this place. However, when we got inside, it was actually really nice. There was even a milkshake bar.
That's a milkshake place.
Oh.
There's a milkshake place.
It's been a long day. A long day.
Hungover. I don't even mention that we're hungover.
They know we're hungover all the time.
The place had great uniform, great branding, there was plenty of space. Even upstairs there was its own seating area. There was even a toilet in there, which was the first place that had its own toilet apart from KFC. There was a good drink selection and good branding on the bag, so expectations were really high for this one. But then we tried the chips and it all went a little bit south.
They're like cardboard.
Oh man, that's slimy.
None of us could keep these down. They were minging. Mary couldn't even stomach putting it in her mouth.
Very slimy. Really smell like. I guess VFC is prime example of don't judge a book by its cover, because everything about it was premium relative to the others, but it was one of the worst that we've had.
What's the best chicken shop in Wake, eh? How you doing, love? You right? This one is, of course, Wakefield Fried Chicken. And as you can tell by the state of that telly, the old handspree, this one is a bit ropey. I don't know why that table was on its side. They did take card, it was £4, but when you check on your statement, it is going to show up as Burger King for some reason. Decor was a bit shit. Here you can see some food on the wall that's definitely never been seen in these premises. Props to the boss man though, he did put the chips on one side and the wings on the other, which is nice, and he did even make a recommendation that the chili sauce does go well with the chips. I'd say that honestly, these wings are pretty much bang average. You can tell Rob don't really rate them, but I think Mary said they were quite alright.
You know what? That's alright.
We could only find one XFC in the whole country, so we drove from Leeds to Watford to go and sample its goods.
Can't see it.
Where is it?
Gotta come all the way down to Watford for this one, but can't wait. I'm really hungry, so I'm looking forward to this chip. This chip. Wait a minute. That's not XFC.
So we've come all the way to Watford for XFC. We turn up, it's no longer XFC, it's a patisserie. Shit. So I guess we better head back to Leeds. What a wasted trip.
This wasn't the first time that Google gave us some inaccurate information on this trip, so Jake took it into his own hands.
So what I'm going to do for the community here is it's saying on Google that this place is open. Well, it's not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to suggest some new hours. And I'm going to mark it as permanently closed.
So here we're at YFC, which is actually our old stomping ground. We grew up on this council estate, and after a night out, me and Rob would come here and get a takeaway, and our dad would always shout at us for being too unhealthy. Here we are walking to the cash machine, because sometimes they decide that even though they've got a card reader, they want cash. Oh, look at that, they must have known we were coming. They've bulk ordered the orange Mirinda.
Your favourite.
This box was packed tight.
Well presented. Oh, it's like a... Oh, that's great. Keeps the foil. Foil's very good. Let me try one of these chips. One of these chips. Oh, that's a soggy one. Look at that.
The chips were banging because they were covered in MSG, and the wings really impressed everyone.
Very spicy, actually.
Everyone really rated these wings, and we tried to remove all bias because it is our local, but trust me, it is just that good.
It's time for chicken.
And here we are, the final one, ZFC, 25 done, one more to go, chicken for the road because it was a long trip down to Wigan. Spirits were high, we couldn't wait to get to this last stop. We realised on this journey that we were probably the only people in the country to have completed this challenge, the only ones dedicated enough to follow through with this absolute nonsense. And here we are, pulling up to the final one, ZFC for the last chicken wing.
Oh, it's closed. It's fucking closed.
Oh my God.
It's closed.
What the...
Thanks a lot, Google. Not only is this place closed, but the restaurant has shut down and the unit's to let.
Well, that's really an annoying way to end our challenge.
Yeah.
Nice big waste of time.
Yeah.
Just the 2 hours. So there you have it. After 1,000 miles and 26 chicken shops, we finally ticked them all off the list except XFC. We had some highs and some lows, and we felt that we were now culinary experts ready to dish out some awards.
The award for the friendliest boss man goes to... the boss man at WFC. This boss man was the only boss man to recommend a sauce. He gained nothing from recommending that sauce. He just wanted us to have a great experience.
And the award for cheapest chicken shop goes to EFC. Now, EFC was based in central London, but somehow it was the cheapest at just $2.99 for the standard meal. What a deal.
And the award for the most expensive chicken shop goes to PFC. This place was great, but they sure charged you for it. $5.99 for the same meal we got everywhere else. More than double the cheapest. Crazy.
And the award for the dirtiest chicken shop goes to SFC. There was cardboard all over the floor, which shows they just didn't really give a shit about what it looked like. The cleanliness of the kitchen and waiting area left a lot to be desired. Surprisingly, this place had a 5-star hygiene rating. It's a good job the inspector wanted that day.
And the award for...
bollocks.
And the award for cleanest chicken shop goes to PFC. This shop had a great sign out front, you remember it. Even the sign was tip-top. Inside and out, it was all-round good clean hygiene. The tables were clean, the kitchen was clean. Some would say you could eat right off it. And that's all I've got to say about that.
And finally, here we are at the two big ones. The award for the worst shop goes to HFC. Our expectations were completely dashed when we tried this horrible, rubbery, tough chicken. It had red stuff all over it. It didn't look good. It didn't taste good. And I'm just getting a bit kind of choked up thinking about it because it was so disgusting and I'm never going to HFC again. You lose.
Finally, it's the one that you've been waiting for. The award for best chicken shop goes to KFC, but not that KFC. This one goes to Crunchy Fried Chicken. This chicken shop all round was great. Really quick service. The chicken was the right level of spicy. It just fell off the bone. The chips were great. Well done, KFC Crunchy Fried Chicken, for being the best chicken shop.
Thanks so much, everyone that has watched this piece of absolutely stupid content. We had so much fun doing this. It was something totally different, totally fresh, bit of a different editing style that I had a lot of fun with. Big up Raz for driving us every mile that we needed to go to try and complete this mission. If you know where there's an XFC, then first of all, I commend you because we've tried so hard to find one, but obviously we weren't able to. This is the first video we have made in years without drinking a drop of alcohol, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually make a half decent piece of content while we're not pissed. The last thing I want to say is a massive thank you to all the names on screen right now, all our amazing supporters on Patreon. We could not do any of this without you, and as we ramp up for the biggest year that we've ever had on the channel, your support is more important than ever, and I'm just blessed to have you all in my life. So thank you, and we will see you very soon for a big video. Bye bye.